society.
Exactly.
And I see a lot of guys coming to take a workshop, coming to take a program, and the one myth I'm always trying to break, and I want you to kind of talk about it from your perspective, is you're probably not going to be badass with women in one workshop.
No, not at all.
There's a lot to be learned, but if you listen to your coach, you can cut the learning curve by years.
Yes.
And what's your experience with that with guys? Because I've seen companies, my big thing is that you're actually really good with women, and I can see that from the videos, okay?
Thank you.
And I see a lot of guys that are teaching that aren't, that are kind of, really haven't worked it out.
Yeah.
But they're out teaching some principles they learned here or there.
Yeah.
And then they're telling guys, oh, in a weekend I'll have you great with women.
Yeah.
In 3 days you'll be killing it. In a week you'll be killing it. Can you speak to that?
Yeah, of course. And I think it would just be so much more beautiful for themselves and for the clients if they were upfront about it, that there is no magic pill, really. There is you putting the hard work in, putting the sweat in, and there's us going, these are the steps that you really want to take. We've taken all those erroneous steps, and you're going to make those erroneous steps, but you're not just going to be stuck in those ruts for as long as we were, perhaps. I think that's where the value is.
Yeah. Because we can show you how to get out of them faster.
Yes, exactly. And listen, you've got to make those mistakes. But it's just, you don't want to be sort of banging your head against the wall for too long going, oh, where's it going? Whereas we're there at that moment going, this is why this is happening. And I think that's where like the most enormous bit of value is. Just in that place, because you're still going to have to go through the same emotions as us, but just for not as long a period.
Yeah. Back to day game a little bit, to your company. Why day game? Why do you love day game so much, and why do you prefer it over night game? Or really, I don't even know if you do night game. Why is it all about day game for you?
No, and that's the thing. It was a toss up really, because I was doing night game for like a year. From 2006 to mid-2007, I was in love with night game. And I was getting these amazing, like, quick fix results that almost, I'd wake up the next day and, did that really happen? Was that me making out with a girl on a dance floor? Yeah, it's really
kind of fun.
Yeah, it's kind of fun.
A lot of fun, actually.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun, and it's a high. It's a certain high, a lot more than day game. I'll be honest, day game doesn't. Apart from the instant dating is a real high, but apart from that, there aren't many, and the number getting an amazing number, making that emotional connection. But that's like a slow process compared to the high you can get in a nightclub, which is like instant eye contact and just pulling it towards you. And it's that amazing moment whether she pushes you away or goes for it, you know. So I was doing a lot of that in 2007, and I loved it for a while. But what was happening was, like anything else, I lost. The luster wore off, and I wasn't becoming a better man for me. Like, I don't know if that was just me, but I wasn't really truly becoming like, a lot of the girls I was kissing were, you know, we've got a real drink culture in England, which I don't think you have here. Like, they were, you know, drunk to their eyeballs. They were gone. They would have kissed most guys. They weren't like legless, but they would have, it wasn't something that I was particularly proud of the next day.
So you just said something that I think is a real distinction between two different types of guys that do this. And I was thinking about it earlier when you were talking, is that I get the feeling that you really do love women.
Yes,
and that you really love being around them. You appreciate them for being women. And I see a lot of guys who don't. Some guys are good with women but don't love women. They actually kind of resent them, so they get a certain type of
I know
woman.
exactly what you mean. Yeah.
And
I've learned to love women though. It wasn't always the case. It was a little bit of my high school years popping up, going, get back at them, go on.
Go
like,
get evil.
Those bitches
get a power and use it against them.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's kind of what some of the night game is about. I mean, I enjoy night game, but I think there's a lot of that happens.
Yeah.
You get out in a bar, you can fuck with them, you can be a dick. You can do that during the day too, actually. This is a key, I think, with guys that actually really get good at this, is they really want to improve themselves more than they want to be good with the women. Like, there's a point, you can either be out there going a night game for the rest of your life and getting laid one night after another, but that's only so satisfying. If you're becoming more powerful as a man, stronger as a man, more confident as a man, and then you draw women in because of that, that's what it's really about.
That naturally attracts them anyway. So yeah, this is the way I looked at it, basically. I think you've hit the nail on the head there, by the way. I looked at it like, and it was kind of epiphany, if that's a word, moment. Had an epiphany one day, and I just thought, right, I've got two options: to get easy lays, and regress as a man. Not regress so much, but not stay at the same level as a person. Go out most nights, it's fun, it's sort of whiling the time away sort of vibe. Or I've got the other option of putting some real hard work into myself and being a real better guy that most girls would find look at me and would go, the interesting guy, I wanted to spend time with him as soon as they met me, within 10-20 seconds. And that's the feeling I got from Day Game, where that came across straight away. There was no cheating the system. You had to be your best self. And to this day, if I've had a rubbish day, if I've had a rubbish week, so say I've just been like inside lazy, I've just watched stupid YouTube videos all day, not read anything, not improved myself in any way, not put any work into myself, I'd go out the next day and it shows I'm not really satisfied with myself. And the girls just feel it. They feel it in every which way that you're giving out those emotions. And first and foremost, I'm very critical of myself. So if I've not read like a new book a week perhaps, or even one chapter from a book that's made me go, and that's not much to ask in a week, that's opened my eyes up to a certain way of thinking that perhaps I wasn't privy to previously. And just certain other things in life, that a new experience, a new challenge. And when I do those things, like I was learning tennis in London recently, and I hired a coach properly to teach me. And when I do those things, I approach women and it's a breeze. It's a breeze to just get along with them. And the reason for that is they're feeling you. You're the same person. In fact, I've looked worse and I've attracted better women, and I've tried to look my best and my sharpest in a suit, and I've had a bad week and I've attracted not great women. And that's a great point as well. I think most guys miss out on is, what sort of women do you want to attract? I happen to attract very cool girls who lead very cool lives when I'm being a cool guy.
Now, do you remember because I remember that progression. I remember the type of girls I attracted in the beginning, then along the way, and then along the way. And then now it's like every single girl is like, wow, she's amazing. She's amazing.
Like an amazing person.
Like immense respect for every girl I go out with. And like whether we're a good match or not, she's an amazing person. And,
that's it,
And I remember when that wasn't the case. And it's like, oh, I could fall in love with all of them. And so you've had that experience. Exactly. I think that's a sign that you're doing something right. Well, that's a big sign. I saw a lot of coaches come up in this industry, and they would get good at women, at least get good at getting laid, and then they get disillusioned because they got good at getting laid in bars and picking up girls, and that was about it. And they weren't really, and in my mind, they didn't really progress inside themselves at that point. They kind of just, I accomplished the goal, I'm done, and then they went back to being hermits. They went back almost to their old lifestyle, and that just, I can't fathom that. It just doesn't make sense, because I was so shy and so shut down as a child that I would never, there's nothing, I would never return that and go that direction ever again. Let's talk about specifics of Day Game. Let's get into it, because a lot of guys are out there probably wondering, like they want to go out, they want to meet a girl during the day. There's like, tired of this night stuff, or they don't even want to do it. Because I meet a lot of guys that don't even really want to do it. What would you tell to get them started? Okay, well, the first thing you could do is just go up to a girl. You don't even have to like 100% fancy her, just something you like about her. And you use the word fancy here, by the way? Yeah, we do.
Okay, all right. And
we don't use it with the accent you do, but that, you add a whole new flair to it.
Right, okay. Not Austin Powers, though.
No,
okay.
No,
as long as it's not in that direction. No. But yeah, you go up to her and you literally just say something like, you know what, I noticed this thing about you, and I had to come over and comment on it, and I think it looks beautiful. Whatever word you want to use, really nice, and I just thought I'd tell you that. Have a beautiful day. And when you put it in those terms, because you're not clinging on to it anyway, you're not wanting anything back from her, and you're just out there to give a bit of love to this person, and the reaction you'll get from that moment will, I reckon, hook you on day game, because there's nothing else like it. And I've had women say to me, just from, this is an exercise I do just to warm up. I call it stretching, you know. It's a bit like just before the weights at the gym, you do a bit of stretching, not to pull anything. And it's exactly the same now after 7-8 years of doing day game. I need a bit of stretching in the morning. When I've got my cup of coffee, I could be a middle-aged woman. I don't fancy middle-aged women in any way. She could have a nice scarf on. I'll go up to her and say, you know what? I love that scarf. Have a beautiful day. And she's just like, oh my God, you just made my week. Exactly in that accent. If you knew
that was a little New York in that one. I think there was a little New York mixed in.
Yeah. So it's just being like full of energy to be social and beautiful.
I say this one thing, and I want to see, do you believe that that meeting women, I don't even like the term pickup, so let's say meeting women, do you believe that it's about giving?
100%. Because when you give, that person feels no attachment. And especially girls, they need to feel free. They're so constrained by guys and their egos and possessive boyfriends. If you can make her feel free in your company, that's like the deadliest thing.
Yeah, I agree. It's so true.
Yeah.
Because girls are often merchandise for a lot of guys.
Well, I mean, it's our porn culture, it's our Playboy culture, it's everything that our society seems to be okay with. The way we sort of, but like, I don't know, it's funny, like if you tell someone that I do this thing where I go up to girls and I try and connect with them, they're like, what? You're nuts. But if you say, yeah, I'm a photographer who takes shots of naked women, you're like, oh, okay, that's normal in our society. But going up to her and connecting with her, what are you doing?
Yeah, we need more people connecting.
Yeah.
So I have another question. What do you do with the guy? You take him out and you say, just go compliment a girl, and he's like, oh my God, that's so outside my reality. I'm scared. I'm nervous.
As I said, like a bit of stretching, going up to her, just being able to do that bit, and then giving without needing anything back. That's such a healthy mindset to be in. And then the next thing you want to do is we sort of take them through the ropes of the best physical way to approach a girl with the best chance of getting her to stay there and not walk away in an unsure state. And that is, believe it or not, this may sound funny even to people who've never seen this before, but jumping right in front of her. And not jumping, that sounds wrong, but kind of smoothly going into her energy and almost sort of inviting her into your world. And then she's just like, whoa, big bright eyes. And the most important